Hi, everyone. I'd like to welcome you all to our afternoon webinar. Today we're going to focus on EMV and instant issue. We have two Shoreline experts with us, Billy Tran and Justin O'Brien on instant issue. At the end of the webinar, we're going to have some time for Q&A, and you can also type questions into the question box and we will answer them. So we're getting ready to get started, and we'll send you a PDF copy of the presentation after, and it'll be posted on our webinar, on our website. I'm going to give it to you. Billy, you ready?
Yep, absolutely. Thanks, Amy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amy. And thanks to everyone joining us today. As Amy mentioned, my name is Billy Tran. I'm the Director of Marketing for Shoreline. The objective today is really to give you all an update regarding the ongoing US EMV migration, as well as talk a little bit about instant issue. I'm sure many of you all listening today have instant issuance solutions already and are wondering if and how to migrate these solutions to EMV. So hopefully Justin and I will be able to shed some light on this and address any questions you may have about upgrading or migrating your current existing instant issuance solutions to EMV. So before we get started, just wanted to say a few words about Shoreline. We are an independent provider of card production and personalization services, mainly serving community and regional financial institutions for the past 25 years. In May of 2014, Shoreline was acquired by Gemalto, and if you're not familiar with Gemalto, we are a global technology company. So in addition to serving banks like you all, we serve some of the largest enterprises and governments all around the world. We are a leading technology provider to the telecommunications industry as well as around the world. So if you have a mobile phone, it's more than likely that you're using Gemalto technology every day. And if you have a US passport, you may be surprised to know that Gemalto technology and chips are embedded inside each and every US passport. So with that said, we are obviously one of the leading providers of EMV technology all around the world. In fact, every year Gemalto delivers in excess of 700 million EMV chip cards. Obviously, we're really excited that EMV is finally making its way to the US and having the opportunity to share kind of our expertise and lessons learned with you all here today. So before we get into too much detail, I think it's always a good idea to kind of recap current US EMV migration, which is well underway. And as you can see on your screen today, the US is really one of the last countries to finally migrate and adopt this technology. And the question I get all the time is, why has it taken the US so long to adopt EMV chip technology? And really it boils down to the fact that there's historically been kind of a chicken and the egg problem in the US. Merchants, in order to accept EMV cards, merchants need to upgrade their point of sale infrastructure to accept these chip cards. And merchants have said, well, why should I upgrade my point of sale when there's no cards in the market? And similarly, financial institutions would say, well, why should I issue EMV chip cards to the market when there's no point of sale infrastructure where consumers can use these cards? So this deadlock or stalemate has existed in the US market for just around 15 to 20 years. And it wasn't until the liability shift announcement that Visa and MasterCard made back in 2010 that really created momentum for this market to migrate and adopt chip cards. So the liability shift deadline was initially set for October of 2015, and that date has come and passed. And the good news is that there's been tremendous momentum in terms of issuing chip cards to the marketplace. By last estimate, you see in 2015, there was a projected excess of 575 million EMV chip cards being issued to the marketplace, which is an enormous growth considering where we came from all the way back in 2010. But as I mentioned, chip cards in the market really don't mean much unless you have a point of sale infrastructure where a consumer can use these cards. So luckily, there's been tremendous growth in terms of the acceptance infrastructure for EMV chip cards as well. By last count, in 2015, there was a projected number that roughly 60% of all point of sale terminals had already made the upgrade to accept EMV chip cards, and that number will continue to grow in the years to come so that pretty soon you'll be able to use your chip card everywhere you shop throughout the US. So it seems like we're just finishing the U.S. contact EMV migration. So you may be surprised to know that we believe that there will be a second wave to this migration, and that will be the migration towards contactless EMV chip cards. For those of you listening today, I guess the majority of you have received a chip card already and have made a contact EMV chip transaction in one form or another. And you'll probably all notice that these transactions are probably quite a bit slower than your traditional magstrip transaction. And for this reason, we believe that there will be a strong push by consumers and merchants alike for the adoption of this contactless technology, which allows a consumer to basically go to a point of sale and tap their card at the point of sale to make a purchase, which is obviously a better consumer experience, which is a little bit faster and offers a lot more convenience in terms of the experience. So the good news is that just about all the EMV point of sales that have been upgraded to support EMV will support contactless EMV as well. It's really just up to the merchants to activate the contactless parts of the point of sale to accept contactless cards. So a major part of the legwork is already done. So with the introduction of Apple Pay and new mobile contactless technologies, the good news is that a lot of merchants are choosing to activate the contactless portion of their point of sale in an effort to accept contactless Apple Pay. And with that, they paved the way for the issuance of contactless EMV cards as well. And so the latest news we have is that the majority of financial institutions, or the large financial institutions in the U.S., are going ahead and issuing contactless cards in the market. So we see a tremendous momentum in that front. But certainly we also see a tremendous momentum from some of the smaller financial institutions as well. There's been a growing demand among the smaller financial institution base to issue dual interface contactless cards simply as a way to offer consumer experiences in a cost-effective way, whereas perhaps introducing Apple Pay or some of these other technologies might be cost prohibitive for some of these smaller financial institutions. With that said, for those of you listening to today, some of you may not have launched your EMV programs just yet or in the process of doing so, and the good news is it's not too late. The last estimate that I have is that amongst small to medium-sized banks, the penetration of EMV migration is relatively low. There's an estimate that just about 30% of smaller financial institutions have migrated to EMV. So clearly, you're not alone if you haven't launched your EMV programs just yet. One of the traditional bottlenecks in serving this market is the fact that it's quite fragmented, and the fact that it's very large. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of smaller financial institutions that are served by kind of a fragmented base of processors and personalization service providers. And getting all those bricks aligned to support EMV has been a little bit challenging and certainly has caused some of the delays in terms of serving this market. The good news is that Gemalto and Shoreline have done a lot of the work and investment ahead of time to pre-certify our platforms and infrastructure to support EMV, and so we've done this legwork already, so that as issuers come on board, it becomes a turnkey process to issue EMV and launch these EMV programs. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Justin, who will talk a little bit more about instant issuance and the impact of migrating instant issuance to EMV.
Hi, everyone. I'm Justin O'Brien. I am the Solution Sales Manager for our Instant Issue program here at Shoreline, and I was going to go over high level about our Instant Issue program and also speak about our All About Me product. For those institutions that are doing Instant Issue today and ones that are looking at doing Instant Issue, the main reason why financial institutions today are switching over to Instant Issue is main reasons for new revenue generation. By issuing a card sooner, you're going to get greater card usage, top of wallet, increased activation rates, and with marketing, you can attract new card holders. You can advertise that you can open up a checking account and walk out with a new debit card today, and you'll have more customers come in, more card holders come in. Also, it does provide some operational savings. With instant issuance, there's no need to mail the card out since they're going to be walking out with it immediately, so reduce paper, postage, and mailing costs. It also lowers card printing and inventory expenses, and also lowers emergency replacement costs. With our instant issue system, we have a minimal EMV integrate or setup fee. So we are quick to launch with our EMV instant issue system. And you're also going to increase cardholder satisfaction by giving them the ability to walk out for card immediately. Our instant issue solution is a cloud-based solution. We have partnered up with DataCard and have taken their in-house software and made it into a hosted model. With the DataCard software, there is multiple integrations that are in place. Our solution does not have any licensing fees. There are no charges per bin or per computer and such. We have a low monthly flat fee that includes all support, installation, and software features. And once again, with that, we also have a very low EMV implementation cost. Our data center is a secure facility. All network traffic is encrypted using triple DES encryption from the PIN pad to the software all the way to the machine. The software exceeds all Visa and MasterCard instant issue security guidelines. The hardware itself, does have logical locks, supply compartment, and secure reject bins. A lot of institutions are concerned about security and with Visa and MasterCard regulations. The main Visa and MasterCard requirements for instant issue is that you keep the machine away from cardholder access, and you want to treat your cards like you treat your cash, always handle them under dual control. And the software does force the dual control of the loading and unloading of the card stock with the logical locks and requiring dual control user ID and passwords. Our cards in the instant issue system does offer many integrations out there. We do have what we call pull, and I apologize, it's like when I'm supposed to say push and switch integrations. The pull integration would be a method where you type in an account number, and we're going to pull the cards listed on the checking account, and then you'll be able to issue whichever card you choose. With push interfaces, which should be the second one, the core systems will write integrations to the card reader platform. So as you pull the checking account and look at the information on the core system, there would be possibly an additional function of instantly issuing that card right there on the spot. And then with the core integrations, we can then upload it to the switch in real time, and if necessary, also activate the card for you. So it makes it a very quick and seamless card production. We do offer two main card printers. A lot of instant issue systems today have gone to flat cards, non-embossed debit cards. The first machine is a CD820 card printer. It's near edge-to-edge printing. It is EMV compatible, EMV ready. It does have a single hopper and a secure reject bin. The machine itself does have an electronic lock and a physical lock, but with the software we can send a signal to it to electronically unlock itself. The machine will handle both pre-printed card stock, so we just print the cardholder name and card number and security code in the back of the card, or you can start with white card stock and choose from a gallery of images and issue that card. The machine itself is very small and does not take up a lot of room in the branch. The next machine is our CR500 card printer. It is an over-the-edge retransfer card machine, so it does print a full bleed. It is EMV ready, has 3 input hoppers. This is good if you're a financial institution that does want to do EMV and you do have a Visa bin and or a MasterCard bin. Once again, it does have a secure reject bin. It does offer a manual feed if you do happen to have a 4th card type that you need to issue. And this machine is configured to work mainly with white card stock. Also, we do have our All About Me feature where you can personalize or have your cardholder upload a personalized picture and be able to issue that on the spot. The standard All About Me customization software can be seamlessly integrated into the bank's website and allow for online customization of the cards. Your customers can go home, upload a picture of their family, their dog, their cat, you name it, and allow that to be either centrally issued or instantly issued in the branch. Gemalto, we are the founders of the card customization product. We have a company called ServiceSide, which is where the All About Me product comes from. You will see an increase in loyalty, of course, an increase in activation. It does allow for cross-selling, and you'll definitely have a top-of-wallet effect when you have that personalized picture card and their wallets. You can still cater to your cardholders by providing a gallery. So if you do instant issuance and you have a gallery, if your cardholder does go home and they want to do a personalized card, if they don't have an image that they want to upload, they will images that are loaded in the instant issue software. We also have a mobile feature of the All About Me software where you can go to a sporting event or a local high school sporting event, bring an iPad and be able to submit personalized photos on the spot and be able to then issue those cards back at the branch or have Shoreline essentially issue those cards for you. And then with that, there was also image checking to make sure that the photos that are being uploaded are allowed to be on the card. Visa and MasterCard do have regulations and requirements of what is and is not allowed. No copyrighted images, but the main thing is that it's got to be a personalized card. So they've got to be part of that photo in one way or another. That's it.
So,
well, thank you, guys. We do have some questions. If you'd and if you have any more questions, please feel free to type them in. Are you guys ready to take a few questions?
Yes.
Okay. The first one revolves around technical support. Somebody asked what kind of technical support is needed on the bank side to set up instant issue.
With our cloud-based solution, we do open up a VPN tunnel to secure the transmission of the data between our data center and the financial institution. But other than that, there's no software that is installed locally in the branches. Everything is completely web-based, and we just send the printer to the branch so it can be plugged up and communicate back and forth to our data center.
Okay, and we have a question, I think more for Billy, about contactless. What can they do if they already started to do regular EMV cards and now they want to go to contactless? What's involved?
Right, no, that's a good question. So unfortunately, the cards that have already been issued can't be converted to a dual interface card. Basically, you'll have to go back and work with your card or personalization provider to implement a new card program with a dual interface contactless card that has that contactless capability.
Somebody asked another question, follow-up about contactless. They want to know how close we are to producing contactless cards. I'm thinking, Shoreline and Gemalto, or just Shoreline?
We can actually provide those cards today. Gemalto is the #1 provider of contactless dual interface cards in the world. In fact, we've produced over 1 billion dual interface cards to date, and roughly 40% of all the dual interface cards globally in market today utilize Gemalto technology. So we are the #1 provider, and we're ready to offer those cards today.
A question about data card. Now, this particular bank says they're already a data card user. What would be different from this program versus what they have now?
With our hosted solution, there's nothing installed locally in the financial institution, so we will handle all the software updates in our data center. Other than that, the functionality of the software is exactly the same. It's the same software that you install locally. It's the same as the software that we install in our data center. It's just we handle the support and the maintenance of the software for you.
So you make it easier. We make it easier, basically,
yes.
For that. As long as we have you, Justin, this is a question about the machines. Does the CR500 machine emboss the card, or does it only do flat print?
The CR500 is a flat card printer. We do support the data card CE870, which is a card embosser. So if a financial institution does want to stay with embossed cards, we do have that offering.
And a question about All About Me. How long does it take to install All About Me? the implementation process?
I believe a typical implementation process for All About Me is about 90 days.
Okay. This question is about the bins. How does it work with Instant Issue if you have 3 different bins? How quick is it if you have hundreds of cards to produce and there's a compromise?
If you do have a compromise, you know, the Instant Issue machine, if you do a full color print with a chip encoding, is going to be about 90 seconds per card. But typically with a compromise, we would recommend that those cards come out of Shoreline, since we are more our Shoreline facility, since we're geared and prepared to do larger runs.
They just have to let Shoreline know what happened and when it happened, and we can take care of that for them.
Correct.
Somebody wants to know about the quality. Is the quality the same on Instant Issue versus what they would have now through Shoreline?
The quality is very close to what, so the cards that are produced for Shoreline that are mailed out centrally are produced on giant presses, where this machine is using the dye sublimation technology to print the cards. The cards do have quality of 300 dpi, so if you look at it with your own eyes, you won't see dots, you won't see any problem with the clarity of the card.
And this is about the contactless versus the regular EMV again. If this bank already has the regular EMV stock, now they want to go contactless, will they need to destroy all the current stock they have?
That's correct. I mean, those card stocks that have already been produced in a contact mode could not be converted to a dual interface contactless card. The reason being is that these dual interface contactless cards actually have an embedded antenna embedded inside the plastic. So if you have a contact card already, it doesn't have that antenna, so it could not function contactlessly.
Here's a question about timing. How long does it take for the entire process for Instant Issue once you decide you want it?
Typical implementation for non-EMV is 90 days. For EMV, it's 120 days.
Okay, if anybody else has any questions, you can still type them in, or you could always send them to us. Just reply to the email and that we sent out for the invite, and we can get those questions answered. I have one more. This came in. What cores are you integrated with? So I'm assuming for EMV. I mean, for
there's about 36 or 37 different core interfaces that are available. We can send that list out with all the different cores. It's a lot to list right now.
There's one other question about the EMV and Instant Issue. Can they be implemented at exactly the same time? Is that possible?
Yes. Yes, EMV, we can launch EMV and launch Instant Issuance at the same time.
And someone asked, I think we already had this question, but maybe we need to reiterate it one more time. Can Shoreline or Gemalto currently issue contactless EMV cards for central issuance? So just kind of filling.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Well, that looks like all the questions we have, and I just want to thank you both for this great webinar. I'm sure everybody appreciated it. It was a lot of great information. And in the next few days, we're going to send out a PDF copy of the presentation and also place it on our website, a recording, so you can go back and listen or have anyone else listen. We have one more question. Which deposit platform does Instant Issue integrate to? Does that make sense to you guys?
Yes, so that's the same, to me, that's the same as the core integrations. We can send a list of the different platforms that we are currently integrated with.
Okay, great. Well, I want to thank you so much, and we'll look forward to having everybody for our next webinar coming up in another about month and a half.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.